Hello everybody, welcome to another live draw for the Far Albion Cup. This is the round 2 draw for season 43. Hope you're keeping well on this bank holiday weekend for those of you who are based in the UK. Hope those who aren't still having a lovely weekend and the weather is glorious and sunny like it is here. Let's crack on with the story of the round so far. So Skyburners versus the Outdoor Toymakers, that finished 2-1 to Waldorf. Wizards didn't have much of the impact that perhaps the Elves would have wanted, and the Dwarves ground the Elves down to get that 2-1 win. Ratus Mirabalis versus Walkers of Westminster. That was a standard 2-1 for Dragon's Bane, the semi-finalists for season 42. Not much to go on this one. There wasn't a lot of detail left on this fixture, but it looks like the Skaven probably scored pretty quickly to allow Dragon's Bane 2 long offences. The Bucks against Vision. This was probably the closest tie of the entire round. This was the only one that needed a replay, actually, after a very even first tie at the Bucks Stadium. It finished 1-1. The Dwarves got a crucial stop in the first half against the Bucks at their stadium, and the removals from the first half stayed off the pitch in favour of the Vision, so the Dwarves won that 1-0. Rippers versus Arrows, Schaefer versus Bane. This one means that the Dark Horses are out. This was a game riddled with off the playbook routines, according to the little review that I saw from the guys on that one. Just fun blood bowls throughout. The Titans against the Thunders. Nate Guy demolished the Titans 3-0 in that one. It was a difficult game, I think, for Raisin, with a number of injuries that he got throughout that game. Stuck with it though for 16 turns. To be fair to him, I think a lot of coaches might have conceded, given it's only a friendly. But all games is good experience. So well done, Raisin, for sticking out. I think that will possibly teach you something down the line. When it comes to, if that happens in the league. The two Dark Elf sides, it was the Pale Riders who came out 2-1 on that one. And Montag's side win the attritional battle in that one. Plenty of deaths, unfortunately, for Moonwater, though that's not permanent, which is good news for Snow Troll as he attempts to move forward in the Prem. Interesting smells. Beat Green Dwarf, of course. Pedders wins because it's round 1. So the smells go on to progress, and Nuffle favoured the Necro pretty much from the start, particularly with the Blitz in that opening drive, which put Rux on the back foot. Good game though, for all intents and purposes, based on the review. And Bob and Iziak couldn't beat last year's semi-finalists, the Heidelberg Wild Hogs. They lost 2-1. And I think the Mino was the main culprit, I think, for Bob's defeat, certainly from his side. A few bad dice rolls from him, I think, held Bob back. And the Wild Hogs build on their excellent win against Corn Knight in the league. So Lehman's had a great opening start to the season. The Delves with a stick and absolute bants. They're actually playing their game on Tuesday after some late cancellations. So we've managed to move their game. Their fixture will be resolved by Tuesday. And considering you're probably not going to play your game, your round 2 game before then, I've agreed for them to be able to play their game on Tuesday evening. So that one's at 8 o'clock if anybody wants to watch that one. So the Delves versus the Goblins should be an interesting one, and that will be a place in round 2. So this is the draw. We've got the 7 bye sides entering. I'll just remind you who those are. The Tiwanaku Tigers as the FA Cup holders are seed 1, although I will point out that 5 of the 15 other sides are either Chorf or Dorf. So I've got a 1 in 3 chance of getting a side that's probably going to, definitely kick me out. I might have a little bit more chance against something that doesn't have tackle across the board. Much ado about Noring will come in as B. Tales from the Crib, last year's beaten finalists, will be C. The only Bretonian side in this year's competition will be D. Season 41's winner, Morbid Initiation and Tap, will be E. And Bearded Rage, who had a tough opening day against the Norse in Altdorf West. They've had a few permanent removals from the roster, so Mortekina will be hoping that dice are a little bit kind now for the rest of the season. Hopefully that's the bad dice kind of out of the way at match day 1. And of course, MK Dorf and Trom is the last of the buy sides to come in. You can see the other ones there. So let's actually start with the draw. I will put the visualizer on. So I've got my 16 letters there. As always, it will be the first letter out of the bag will be the home side. The second letter out of the bag will be the away side. Ties need to be arranged by Thursday, I believe it's the 3rd of June, and ties need to be completed by Sunday the 13th of June, and that's by 7 o'clock. Okay, so we'll get these into the bag, and let's do the draw for round 2. Just give them a good shake. So, you know, when I probably don't draw a dwarf or chalk side, no one can accuse me of cheating. Okay, here we go then. The first tie. First one out of the bag is letter L. So that is the Walkers of Westminster and Dragon's Bane. So they beat Rattus Mirabilis, beaten semi-finalists last season. They will be the home side. Let's see who they play. And the Walkers will play Team D, which is Tales from the Crib. So it will be Necro versus Skaven. So semi-finalists last year versus the beaten finalists. So that could have been the final last season. Probably should have been. Next side out is H, which is either Delves with a Stick or Absolute Bants. So they will be at home. They will play Team M. So that is Interesting Smells. So it will be Delves or Goblins versus the Necro. So Pedders will have the tie that will be resolved on Tuesday night. Tie 3. That's Team A. So that's the Tiwanaku Tigers. They will be at home. So none of the dwarf or chalk sides have come out yet. Let's see who I draw. And then we'll be against Team J, which is Pale Riders and Montagna Blitz. So it will be Zons versus Dark Elves. That will be interesting. Next one out of the bag is Team I, which is the Yorkshire Rippers. So Shape will be at home for a second round in a row. None of the Chorfs or the Dwarfs are out yet. Still got Corn Knight in there. And Yorkshire Rippers will play Team O. So that's the Altdorf Toymakers. So Schaefer will play Waldorf. That will be interesting. So a couple of the big guys playing each other. Next tile out of the bag is Team E. That is Morbid Initiation. So Tap will be at home. We'll have home advantage. Let's see who he's going to get. And Tap draws Team N. That's Double Vision and Peace Frog. So there we go. I think those two played in the League of Legends. I'm not sure. I can't remember. I think they might have done. I think that was the one that Tap lost. I think that was one of the only ones that Tap lost. Okay, next one out of the bag is Team P. So the Down Under Thunders, Nate Guy, into round 2, will be at home after beating Razor Moose. They will be at home too. Team F. So that's Bearded Rage and Mortakina. So it's Chorf versus Chorf. So one of those sides will be eliminated. So that will be interesting. Bearded Rage in the Altdorf West and Nate Guy in the Colsa Hills East. Next one out of the bag. Team G, which is MK Dorf and Tram, will be at home. So ones left in the bag are Tales from the Crib, Much Ado About Noring, and what looks like the Heisman Wild Hogs. So let's see who Tram is going to get. And Tram is going to have to play Team C. So that's Tales from the Crib. Sorry, I incorrectly announced earlier that the first tie was against that was Tales from the Crib, L versus D. Walkers of Westminster actually play Brutish Brett. So sorry, I must have misread that off my table. So it's L, Walkers of Westminster will play Tales from the L will play D, you can read it yourself, and G will play C. Whoever they are, who cares? It's on the table there. Last tie, we'll see B, which is Much Ado About Noring. That's definitely Much Ado About Noring. They will be at home, so Corn Knight will be at home. And the last one out of the bag is Team K, which is the Heisman Wild Hogs. So that is a replay of the Matchday 1 fixture. So Corn Knight will be able to get some revenge, perhaps, against Lehman. So there are your fixtures, folks. I'll just pull them up so you can see them, and I'll just summarise them again for you. So L will play D, so that's Walkers of Westminster and Dragonbane will play Brutish Bretts and Lasker, not Tales from the Crib. H will play M, so that is Delves for the Stick or Absolute Bants. They will play Interesting Smells. A will play J, so Tiranaku Tigers will play the Pale Riders. I will play O, that's the Yorkshire Rippers will play Altdorf Toymakers. E will play N, which is Morbid Initiation against Double Vision. P will play F, which is the Down Under Thunders versus Bearded Rage. G will play C, which is MK Dorf versus Tales from the Crib. And B will play K, so that is Much Ado About Noring versus the Heisman Wild Hogs. So there is your full round 2 fixture list. I will switch off the visualizer and move it to the next slide so you can see what's going to happen next. So here's just a summary of things that you need to be aware of. Threads will appear within the next hour. You'll see that the setup for them is all ready to go. And that is by 9 o'clock this evening, so the 30th of May 2021. Availability to be posted by the 3rd of June. And ties need to be played by 7 o'clock on Sunday, the 13th of June. Last thing to say is good luck. Thank you very much for watching, if you have been watching from the beginning. Some very interesting ties. Of course, you can watch all of these through Cabal Vision on Blood Bowl 2. If you want to watch any of those ones, just keep an eye on the threads and you can watch any of those ties. Thank you very much for tuning in. We'll see you for the quarterfinal draw in 2 weeks' time. Take care.